Hey guys, just really quickly before we get into this video, I wanted to give a quick explanation as to why this video is so long. The reason as to why this video is going to be so long is because I had a very unique and special coaching session with regards to this student's mentality, and there was definitely a switch that flipped during this session. I was going to cut it up into 3 videos, as you'll notice this video is about half an hour long, but I feel like the context absolutely has to be there, and it kind of destroyed the flow of the session and the video when I did cut it up, so I decided to keep it all as one video. This is a player that I've been playing with and talking back and forth with for quite some time, and this was a highly anticipated coaching session, so when it finally happened, I was pretty excited to have it happen, because I do believe that he's a very good player, but he just had some rough patches in his neutral, and also just playing much too aggressively. Also, at the very end of the video, I've attached one game that we happened to play just to close out the session, and this, in my opinion, is probably the best Smash that he's ever played, at least that I've ever seen. And so with all that being said, if you did come here to seek out value, or maybe you're new to the meta of Smash channel itself, please be sure to check out the video in its entirety. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
Maybe I'm just missing what you're saying. You're saying play, but what does that entail? Am I supposed to still approach? Am I supposed to just limit camp? What am I supposed to do?
So for playing patiently, let me just, I'll switch to a character that I can say for a fact I know to play patiently with. All right, so I'll go Falco. I'm not actually going to fight you just yet, but we're going to go to FD. I'll say for Falco, his main game plan as far as putting on damage is either landing an up tilt or landing something into an up tilt or getting a grab. Okay, so here's the thing. Grab itself, I'm not sure how many frames it is as far as the whole thing, but it's around 40 frames if you happen to miss a grab, right? My up tilt comes out frame 5, but it's minus 12 on shield. So if I'm just doing this all day, also it has a pretty decent hitbox above it and slightly in front of it, but it's not hard to outrange this move. And behind it, there's actually a pretty big blind spot. So I can't just spam this move either, okay? So as far as the high reward of getting a grab and also going for an up tilt, there's also it's also accompanied with a very high risk. So if I just run around and go like this, 2 things happen at least that are very, very bad, or 3 things, I guess. Number 1, this is incredibly slow to just do, and it makes my character slow, and if I miss, I'm wide open to getting hit. Number 2, there's no hitbox on this, so I can't really trade or protect myself for doing this. Okay, the other thing too is I become incredibly predictable. So if I want to get a grab, because that's my character's best thing to technically get, if I just go ahead and do it, this would be the definition of playing too aggressively. Although the move itself, like let's say grab doesn't do damage. If I just do that, I don't get anything, right? It's what it leads into as far as getting a combo. I want a combo which comes from grab, or I want an up tilt which turns into a combo, right? So if I know that there's tremendous reward for something like a grab or an up tilt, that means I have to go for it at the time that makes sense. And what I mean by that is my opponent needs to make some sort of mistake as far as misspace something or throw out an attack that hits my shield. So let's say bad spacing on shield, or they whiff right in front of me like this, right? Something like that. Or they have to, let's say, throw out an attack and throw it out the wrong direction. Let's say if you go for like accidentally rar fair, or you cross slash backwards because, like, let's say you thought it was going to land on one side, you turn around or whatever, and now you're facing the wrong way. And as soon as it happens, I now have to, on reaction or as quick to reaction as possible, dash in and get a grab, or dash in and get an up tilt. Okay, so once I get my grab or my up tilt or whatever my combo starter is, then I can play fast as far as a lot of inputs or whatever I want to do to follow up to get someone to actually do, or to actually get the combo, to get the damage. Okay, once I've done my damage, I can now go back to playing slowly or patiently, because I've now been awarded the opportunity to camp you or run away from you, or I've earned that right, I should say. If I'm winning and the game ends like this, I win. Obviously, this is like the lamest game in the world if the game ended like 5% to 0 with 3 stocks and we go into time, but this would count as me winning. Okay, so with regards to playing patiently for yourself, the main things that you want to get, besides getting, let's say, actual bread and butters, is you want to either get tech chase situations, juggle situations, or ledge trap situations, because your character is incredibly strong at all of those things, specifically ledge trapping and mostly juggling. Okay, so if you can get a ledge trap situation by landing a singular forward tilt or a singular back air, right, or a dash attack, or anything that's just going to send your opponent off stage, you don't have to throw out tons of them and hope that your opponent just jumps into it for no reason. That would be the definition of playing recklessly or playing aggressively if you were to do that. Instead, let's say if you're dashing back and forth or jumping and I lunge at you like this and I'm wrong, you dash out of the way, and you come back in with a dash attack, right? Or I go like this, and I miss, you go for a forward tilt, and you just hit me. Okay, once you've landed that forward tilt, or the dash attack, or a landing back air, whatever it is, then it's time to play fast, or aggressive, because you actually have advantage. Okay, once you've actually got me, let's say, off stage, or up in the air, or I lost my jump, or I've air dodged or something, you don't continue to play slowly throughout that interaction. If I'm in disadvantage as far as I'm trying to shield or roll away from you, or I'm air dodging, I'm using my double jump or something to try and get back into neutral, that's the time where you get to play fast. That's the time where you get to smother me, because I can't just swing on you and hope that I'm going to win the interaction, mainly because you have range and a disjoint and I don't. So let's say, for example, you knock me off stage with a forward tilt or a back air or whatever. Okay, you don't now have to go off stage and do something about that. You can stay right here, and this would be, I guess, conservative or patient as far as not going out there and just trying to style on someone. If you have them in a terrible spot, let's say if I have no jump from way up here, or let's say I had to like air dodge to stay alive, and now I have no air dodge anymore, right? I have no air dodge coming back, because like let's say you hit me with the back air, I air dodged up to not hit the blast zone, and now I'm just recovering normal. If you throw out a limit cross slash, or I mean a blade beam out there and catch me because I can't air dodge, then sure, you can do that. If you want to go out there and hit me with like a nair or a back air because I can't do anything to stop you, then sure. But that's also situational. As far as the patient or conservative way of playing your character at the ledge, it would be back airs and forward tilts. You can also stagger on shield as well. So staggering on shield, if you want to come over here for a second. So staggering on shield would be landing with a back air, turning around with the forward tilt, or landing with a back air, turning around with a cross slash, landing with a back air, jumping away with a back air, right? Either jumping towards center stage or trying to catch like a jump out of shield. So if I'm in shield like this and you hit me with your back air, I can't stop you from doing that, right? Even if you parry that, I can't stop you because I don't have the range. If I parry it and try to fair out a shield, you'll still be able to forward tilt before I can hit you. So that's going to be a very simple setup as far as landing back air, forward tilt, landing back air, cross slash, stuff like that. And if you see that I'm scared in shield, that's where you can go landing back air into either give me space and let me try and act out of shield. So this would be the passive route. Or the more aggressive route would be landing back air, turn around and go for a grab. Because you know that I'm scared and I'm going to stay in shield because I'm expecting landing back air into forward tilt, for example. And if you happen to catch somebody at the ledge ultra slipping, let's say you catch it with an up smash or even like an F smash, I've seen your F smash kill at 80, depending on the character, even earlier than that. So if you can kill somebody at 80, why do you need to throw out tons of hitboxes and get them to 170? Not to mention you also have limit cross slash and blade beam, and you have finishing touch. So if you have the ability to kill someone ridiculously early, there's no reason to try and think that you have to get in there multiple times to win neutral and get someone to 120, 130, or 160%. If they happen to get to that percent because you just can't kill them, then that's different. However, if you're not playing, I guess, intuitively with regards to picking the right options when someone does make a mistake in front of you, that's another way that somebody can get. That's how they can live for a super long time as well. So if I am at 120 or 130 or 140, and you happen to hit me with a jab, for example, right? If you hit me with a jab, obviously I'm not going to die. If you up B out of shield, I might die at the super high percents, like the 150, 160, but even then, like I don't think I would even. Maybe off of a platform or something. But you should know, okay, it's time to switch gears from jab and down tilt and up B out of shield and nair, and go for a back air or a dash attack or an F smash or an up smash or something that's actually going to get you a kill when it makes sense at the super high percents. Okay, so that's going to protect you from low percent mistakes where, let's say if I'm at 20 or 30 or 40, it's like, okay, if you hit me with an F smash at 40% center stage, like good job, I guess, or up smash is like, okay, sick, I guess. It's damage, but it was too risky to go for if you happen to be wrong. If you happen to be right and you get the damage, that's great, but if you're wrong, you could get grabbed and take 60 or get sent off stage, right? And that's not worth going for. So instead of going for the aggressive or the fast, or not even fast as far as frame data, but the aggressive or the fast pace of play, say I'm going to go for an F smash or an up smash or whatever, go for the safer route, go for a nair out of shield, go for an up B out of shield, jump away with the back air, right? Even just dropping shield, dashing away, then coming back in, and picking and choosing a battle that's more suited for you. What I mean by that is just because I jump on you, you might be in an awkward spot. So if you try and swing at me for basically no reason other than the fact that I'm right beside you, there's a chance that we trade and now you're sent off stage for no reason, right? Or there's a chance that you swing and you miss and now I'm getting rewarded for the fact that you panicked, even though you had a chance to punish me much better by not panicking. Does that make sense?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. So
So basically, only go for sure things instead of going for things that'll probably end up putting me off stage. And with Cloud's recovery,
basically, yeah. So basically, what you want to try and do is weigh out the risk versus reward for any situation. And I'll admit that the game is very fast, but there are indicators all over the screen that will tell you should you go for something or should you not. I'll give you some examples of some of these indicators as well. First things first, as far as an indicator, is you have your percent. Obviously, if you're at low percent, the risk of going for something is not nearly as high as if you're at high percent. This will also change from character to character that you're fighting against, because Cloud, of course, can just die at very low percents provided that he gets gimped. But in a normal situation where you're not getting clipped, for example, if you jump on somebody at 0%, you're probably not going to die instantly. Right? If it's Pikachu or Kazuya, maybe, but also they have to do some miraculous shit to kill you at 0. Okay? So, number one thing is your percent. Is with regards to, is your percent low or high? If I jump on someone and I'm wrong, will I die instantly for this, or will I just get comboed for this, or just get hit for this? The other indicator is obviously my percent. If you go for something that could potentially kill me, as far as a kill move, but I'm not at death percent, is it worth going for that huge commitment? Should you go for damage or a situation, let's say a ledge trap or a juggle situation, which might be easier to obtain, versus just going for an outright kill, especially if the move you go for isn't going to kill me. Like, let's say F smash at 50 or up smash at like 60, right? You're better off going for a falling up air or for a nair or a back air or something, or forward tilt, something to just give you some space to push me off stage in some direction. The other thing is going to be, of course, the stocks, to say if you're up, the higher, obviously, the more stocks you have compared to me. So if you're up a stock or 2 stocks even, the riskier you're now allowed to play, because if you happen to make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. The game might get tied up, or I might, like, let's say if I have 1 stock and you have 3 stocks, you can play riskier and potentially seal out the game and not give me a chance to make a comeback, right? So let's say if you go off stage and let's say you try and go for a suicide kill, if you kill us both, you can afford to do that and just win the game. If you're wrong, you still have a whole stock to play with, and I'm still at very high percent. Okay, so that's another indicator. So how many stocks do I have in relation to you? The other indicator would be the time. How much time do you have left in the game to say, okay, if I don't make something happen soon, I will actually lose by time. And in most games of Smash, very rarely do players actually lose by time by accident, as far as neither person's actually trying to camp at all, and the game actually goes to time for real. Typically, if you're going to go to time, one person is deliberately trying to time you out. So with that's probably the most important thing to keep in mind, that you know for a fact you do have time to play slow, and slow is 7 minutes. Right? I'm not asking you to play neutral with someone for 45 minutes straight, because like that's just not realistic, and also you don't have to. 7 minutes of playing this game to get a W is much more worth it than to play for 2.5 minutes and just get destroyed. I don't know, the flip side of it as well too is like, well, what if I play for 2.5 minutes and I destroy them? It's like, well, if you win, you win. You don't get win plus, you know, you don't get win. It's like special edition. You just win. You don't get extra W's, you don't get extra anything, but you don't get seeded higher in the next tournament for winning a certain way. You just win or you just lose. So if you have time to, put yourself in a position to win, I guess logically, then you should take that. Those are the main indicators on the screen, obviously, as far as like stocks, time, and percent. Outside of that, you also have the positioning of our characters to say for your risk reward or the option that you're going to go for. If someone is in a position that is favorable for them, should you try and fight your way out of a situation or muscle your way out of a situation, or should you try to evade the entire situation and come in from a more favorable position? For example, if you're up on this platform in a shield and I'm just up tilting here, you could, let's say for example, you could try and come down with a down air, or come down with a back air, or come down with a nair, right? But if I happen to shield, I'm going to get a grab, and it's not fair, right? It's not fair to you because you technically shouldn't have tried to do that. However, you could also jump away, right? You could run off the platform, go for a back air and try to run away like this, right? Or if I am trying to like jump and catch you like this, you can stay in shield and wait for me to jump over top of you, in which case you could up smash me or go for an up B, or fall through the platform and reverse the situation. Same thing with on the ledge. I'll say for a character like Cloud, If you're playing Cloud and you jump from ledge and nair to get on stage, and someone happens to catch you and like knock you off stage, or if it's fair on stage, if I knock you off stage, you now have no jump. You can die at 0 from that, and you basically killed yourself just to hit somebody for like 18%, and it's not worth doing. If you were at the ledge, and let's say I'm at 130 or 140, and you have limit, and you grab the ledge, and you could just get up and cross slash and just win the game, then that's a different situation, right? Or you can just kill me and get out of the corner for free, then that's different. But if you don't have that, and once again, risk reward management, you have to pay attention to. If you don't have limit and you can't just pull off something like that, so that's super risky to go for, then it shouldn't cross your mind to just jump on stage with the nair or a fair. If you're playing against, like, let's say a Byleth or even the Cloud Ditto, if you jump on stage with nair or fair, and let's go like this, and I hit you, even if we trade, you're now way off stage with no jump, right? And if you don't have limit, then you might actually be dead at like 50. So basically the way that I like to think of as far as the positioning or the advantage based on position is if I have the stage behind me. So in this situation, I'd have a positional advantage over you because I have all this space back here. So if things start to get crazy, I can just run away from you. Whereas if things start to get crazy for you, you have to try and, let's say, hit me or jump over top or roll through, or wait for me to hit your shield and then roll through, or you can grab me or something, or you have to just try and fight from the corner, right? You can't really go out here to escape pressure. So in this situation, as far as stage control would go, obviously I would have an advantage. If you're up on a platform and I'm down here, like we talked about, I have advantage. If you're up on this platform and I'm down here, I have advantage. Basically, whoever's closer to the center of the stage or whoever is underneath the other player is the person that has advantage stage. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Just what it really boils down to is try to think instead of just throw stuff out.
Well, obviously that's almost like the most obvious thing ever. Like if you play the game without thinking and you're wondering why you're losing, then it's like, bruh.
Really, I'm playing the game with just reaction. I'm not really. I mean, I'm thinking. If you do something more than like two times, then yeah, I'll take note of it. But I'm not really trying to guess where you are or what you're gonna do at the very beginning of the game.
So another big part of that too is keep in mind, this is another huge part of risk reward or risk management in general, is pay attention to the fact that you're playing against another human being who can make mistakes or who is very skilled or who isn't very skilled. Like let's say you're fighting against someone who's brand new or whatever it might be. You have to take into consideration that they can be tricked or manipulated into a situation or conditioned, I guess you could say, right? If I am getting conditioned or if I'm conditioning you, don't think, oh, this person's just going to do these crazy whatever setups he wants to do, then just randomly do something that makes no sense. I can say this, at lower levels of play, players might do that, but we're not here to get good at playing at a low level. We're here to be able to play at a high level or a top level eventually. So we don't care about if someone has terrible habits, you just say they're a terrible player, right? If someone's just doing crazy dumb shit like roll on stage, spot dodge, down smash, don't think to yourself, oh, like that was crazy and like I should maybe start doing that. It's like, no, what you should do is pay attention to that. If someone does that, they're probably going to do it a lot because they're probably not a very good player. A high level player or a top level player basically never, ever does that. And if they did it, they'd probably laugh at the same time and be like, that was literally a troll move to go for because it makes no sense to do. It's just too slow. And it's honestly, it's a very online thing to go for, I should say. With regards to fighting someone like myself, if you see, oh, okay, he goes like landing there, up tilt, dash away, B reverse laser into falling off bear or something like that. If I do that constantly over and over, there's a chance that's a pattern that I have. If I'm doing stuff like that, it's like, okay, I'm trying to bait you into getting close to me. And once you get close to me, I'm either going to dash out of the way inside B, or I'm going to dash out of the way and come back in with a grab. Also, with regards to knowing my character, as far as you knowing my character, you should also go out of your way to do a little bit of homework for yourself and say, what do most characters want to do? Not even good players with that character, but what is the character good at? My character's obviously good at combos and edge guarding. So I want to do a combo that's going to send you off stage so I can eventually edge guard you. So two things you want to try and do to avoid that entire situation as far as dying from that. Number one, stay in the air a little bit more so I can't get grabs. Right? If you're empty hopping, short hopping, or full hopping, I can't grab you. Right? And if I happen to get a combo and I'm carrying you off stage, do not try and jump out of a combo. Because if you lose your jump during like a fair, now you're just dead. Right? I can kill you in one interaction from that.
That's the one thing that I always notice that I need to do. I only jump now if it's necessary, or I know you can't catch me, and I can get back on stage and get stage advantage. Or stage control, advantage state, whatever the case, whatever it's called.
It depends on how many jumps I have too. If I'm a character, let's say if I go like this and I go for my second jump and I happen to miss, then yes, you could jump. Because if I go like this into this and I try and kill you like that, then first of all, I'm insane, but you'll definitely be able to jump over my up B, and that wouldn't kill you anyways. So if you are paying attention to how someone is comboing you, or if they use their double jump to escape or to push you even further, then it's like, okay, I could jump out of that. But if you try and jump between this and that, and I catch you with the second one, then you're finessing yourself in that regard. Also, as far as on the flip side of things, if you know that I'm a character that wants to get a lot of up tilts and a lot of grabs, you can beat both of those by going for empty hop, landing back air, and spacing it around me. Landing back air can beat out my grab, obviously, and also my up tilt range. You outrange it with your back air too. So if you know that that's what I want to do, you can use that to your advantage to now sculpt a playstyle around me and say, okay, I'm going to just basically jump around and dash back and forth until he goes for a grab or gets close enough to where I think he might go for a grab or go for an up tilt or even jump in with something. And if you see that situation happen, you throw out that back air. If you're wrong, then you dash away. If you're right, then you follow up with something. Let's get out of this game and we'll play one more. Honestly, bro, I feel like this hour actually like flew by. At least it flew by for me, because
it did. There was
we've been talking.
There was a lot of information going in and out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut this up as well, so you'll have it as a video and you can listen to it back again. But ultimately, the TLDR for this is that you want to try and pick your shots where it makes sense, versus just saying I'm going to go in because I feel like it. Okay.
Okay.
Play with the intent to win, not the intent to try and land as many hits as you possibly can. Alright.
Ah, thrifty.
Hell yeah. This stage is no good for Falco either, but it's all good. But yeah, we'll have to call it a night after this game too. We're already over time, but I got another guy waiting for me. Oh my, it's gotta get punished. Yep. Don't want to go too far away from me there. Okay, you still want to try and keep stage control where you can. Nice. Nice. Nice, did it. Just something like that.
Missing twice.
It's okay. Like, even when he went for that back air, it wasn't necessarily wrong. It's just a little bit too high, right? But it wasn't wrong. You're playing substantially better now. I thought, like, after I got that kill, this is still a one-hit situation away for you to get a kill, right? Oh my. So right there, if you just went for a forward tilt, it probably would have killed. And if you happened to miss, then you wouldn't have got punished. There you go. Get back here. Yep. Okay, he's nice. Yep, good patience. That was a very lucky cross up on my part. That never ever happens. Especially like that close. Yeah, no jump. Nice. Yep. I'd like to see you face backwards a little bit more at the ledge too to get that back air. Also, if you're facing backwards, you can threaten to go for a rising back air, jumping into an empty hop, landing back air, or you could even just turn around with the forward tilt. But if you're facing forwards, I know you're either going to jump away with the back air, or you're going to go for just straight up forward tilt. You're probably not going to fair at ledge for ledge trapping. Oh, that's supposed to be not smash, I'm trolling. Yeah, down is too risky to go for, right? It doesn't feel like much, it's not hard to input, but it's the fact that it put you right above me and it's partially off stage. Oh, that's bad forward tilt on my part. Yeah. He just forward tilted right there, I probably would have died. Yeah, sorry. It's all good. Good catch. Game's tied, bro. Oh, it's supposed to be dash grab. Nice. Oh, could have won the game right there if he went for net smash, but that would have been very risky to go for. So I don't blame him for not doing it. It was a pretty bad graph for me to go for, honestly, though. Almost died. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, no up air. If you up air, I probably would have lost. Up throw? He's different. Oh, is he dead? No, he has a jump. Yeah. Death. Scared for my life. There. He's done it.
Ugh.
That was 6 minutes, bro.
6 minutes of me trying to guess what.
But notice the difference. You actually won a game, bro. And I wasn't like trolling. So, can we call that a W? Can we call that a level up?
No, we'll call that a level up. Let's see if I can keep playing like that.
That's the
every
thing,
time
man.
I lose, I start playing more aggressively.
Well, here's the thing, bro. I'm just gonna shoot you straight right now. If you play against good players, games are gonna look like that. If you play against players that suck, then you can play the way that you were playing before, and you might win or you might lose. But if you play against a good player and the way you were playing before, unfortunately, you're always gonna lose. That's just straight up the truth. Especially if it's a competitive setting where they themselves are not fucking around. If they are, then anything could happen. If they're just going YOLO, footstool, flipping shield break, jumping off stage at 0, if they just don't care, then yeah, you can win because they're messing around and they're making mistakes. But if they try to make no mistakes and you want to play aggressive, you're gonna lose. That's, if there's anything to take away, like that's just the next level of Smash is you have to actually try because your opponent's actually trying as well too. And try does not mean play faster than them. It just means play smarter. With that, we will call it a night, but go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just processing everything. I mean, I know everything is kind of. It seems like I wasn't paying attention, but I was.
No, you're fine, bro. I can say this too with regards to coaching, is I talk pretty fast, and I definitely go over things quite quickly as well. So I'll go from topic to topic to topic, whether or not you understood what I was saying or not. And the reason why I do that is because I know I'm going to turn into a video. So instead of saying it 15 times or like stopping and taking notes, you'll have a video where you can listen to it as many times as you want to, which in my opinion is 10 times better than having notes with no real context for me. GG's. I know we didn't play a ton, but that's kind of the point of coaching sessions, is not to just grind for an hour and then say, roll less, you know? I'd rather actually give you some valuable information. And the biggest thing is mindset, because if you're playing a character that is heavily neutral based, it's not like you have to go to the training room and grind your combos too much. It's more so about placing your attacks in the spots that make sense, so you're actually being successful versus getting reversed or getting scared into thinking that your hitboxes are not huge or you're just losing interactions for no reason.
Everything, it actually does make sense, and I do actually appreciate.
For sure, man.
Like on some level, I knew that I was supposed to be doing that. I just wasn't really realizing that it.
I think the biggest thing too, man, is when you put yourself in a situation where if you lose, it doesn't matter. It's very, very easy to just get into a mindset of, well, if I lose and it doesn't matter, and I win and it doesn't matter, what's the point of trying? Because it's a lot easier to play for a long period of time without getting tired or bored if you just play the way that you want to and go for the risky cool shit and try and get clips and stuff like that. If the whole point of playing for you is to get clips and just do cool shit, then go ahead.
What I guess I've been kind of. I mean, once upon a time, I did pay for coaching from Spargo, and I've been basing my playstyle. Maybe I should try to create my own at this point.
Well, here's the thing too, and I feel like a lot of top players fall into this trap where they teach other players, whether they're beginner players, mid-level players, or high-level players, they teach them as if they comprehend things as quickly and as simply as a top player would, right? And whether or not you are or aren't a top player, like, you could be a top player talking to another top player and be like, yo, the way to win this matchup is just literally use Nair more. And they'll be like, oh, okay. And they just start using Nair more, but the context of saying, at this point in time against these certain moves, and if this situation happens and in this stage or whatever, all those things don't have to be said to a top player because they just get that. But if you yourself are not a top player and I just said to you like, yo, just play slower, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, you even said at one point, you don't really think you're getting what I'm saying, and that's not your fault to not get it right away. It's more so my fault as a coach to not say it right the first time or even the second time or however many times it takes. So if a top player coaches you, and I'm not trying to like call out Spargo because I've never heard his coaching and I just don't know anything about that. But as far as if it's Spargo or Leo or Void or Esam, anyone who's like a top player, if they coach you and say something like, yo, just use back air more, there's more context that has to be there. 100%. That's just right. What it is. So if you can decipher use back air more as in use landing back air at 85 at the ledge because you could get a kill or stagger on shield and turn around to a forward tilt or a cross slash or into a tomahawk grab, if you can get all of that from someone saying, yo, just use back air more, then you might already be a top player. But if you don't get that, then that's not your fault.
Whenever I get the chance, I definitely will be trying those out for now.
For sure. I was going to say, we'll talk in the future, man.
All this.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk in the future. I got my other guy, as you can see, he's just waiting here chilling, but we'll definitely talk in the future. If you want to set something up as well, there's promo codes and stuff happening from now until June 23rd. But yeah, just keep an eye out for stuff like that too. And I'll try and get into the apprentice chat when I can. I typically play pretty late, as you know, so if you're around, and we can definitely get some more games in there too. You can test out some of the stuff that we talked about.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, man.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a great rest of your night. We'll definitely talk in DMs, man.
All right, man.
See ya.
Bye.